so everyone knows. So up to 46 people so far. 47. Right. It is now 6:02. Mr. Cooks, I don't know if you're ready, but if you want to come up and speak, you can. I've already told everyone after the first 15 minutes of Zooms, we will stop accepting people in. So I'll continue to accept them in. But if you're ready, you can go ahead and unmute yourself, sir, and I'll make you co-host.
Good evening, everybody. Can everybody hear me okay?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
Awesome, 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 awesome. Thank you, everybody, for being on this evening. I don't know what's going on with my camera. Guys, I'm just going to give into 9:05, just allow a couple more people to go ahead and jump on here. But meanwhile, just do me a favor. I'd like to know which coast is the best coast. Just drop your name and the city you're joining us from so I can know who's on this call tonight. And we'll be getting started in exactly 1 minute. Going to be great information. Just want to make sure that we got our people on here. Amber, what's going on, Palmdale, California? CA West Coast 604 currently. On my coast is 904. Wendy V, we got Vegas. What up, Wendy? So far, I see a whole bunch of Californians on here. Hey, someone dropped the temperature. Is it cold over there right now? We got Indianapolis. Man, that wind chill in Indianapolis be kind of crazy sometimes. Junior Las Vegas, we got Texas, Central Coast, 8:04 p.m. in the Central Time Zone right now. 62. Huh. I can get down with 62 degrees. That's my type of weather. H Town, y'all got some good food, man. We will be getting started here in the next 30 seconds. Guys, the way I like to do these trainings, South Carolina. Hey, did you guys get snow in South Carolina? I know North Carolina did get some snow. What about South Carolina? Are you guys too far south? Ah, not yet, not yet. Okay, okay. Guys, I definitely like to have a lot of fun on the calls, but I also like to deliver just really good information itself. So we're going to go ahead and get started, and I'm going to, how do you turn closed caption? Um, can someone go ahead and turn on the closed captions for us to go ahead? I can go ahead and turn that on for you. Give me 1 second.
It's on.
Okay, there we go. No problem, because we want to make sure you can see this information, read this information, Skype it to a friend, because guys, when we really break it down, and let me shift a little bit. Maybe this will be better. Let's do this. Guys, give me 1 second. Let me move over here. No, let me move over here. Okay. Hold on, guys. I'm just switching locations so I can get a little bit more light. A lot of people got paid out this week. If you're on this call and you gotten paid out this week, whether it's from working with us, whether it's from Airbnb, whether it's from helping the client get started, just go ahead and drop some fire signs in the chat. I love how Emilio is different. He's efficient. He types fire. Congratulations to Emilio. One personal card approval, three business card approvals. Business been open for 4 days. Emilio, how you feeling, man? Awesome, awesome, awesome. See people fired up here. Is that better?
Yes, sir.
All right, all right. So guys, once again, hey Lamont is see Lamont's on here. Guys, definitely see people still join on here. In about 7 minutes, we're gonna go ahead and lock this meeting because we do try to, be conscious of people's time. We figured 6 p.m., you should be home by work if you do work. Right now on the central, you're 8:08. East Coast, it's past our bedtime. I'm gonna go to sleep right after this Zoom. I'm just playing because I'm gonna get like 1,000 phone calls, so I'm not actually going right to sleep after this. Um, but guys, just kind of wanted to just share a flow because a lot of people have been coming in. Few of you guys have gotten your properties. Few of you guys have already been making money from these properties. Just a lot of been stuff been going on. Really good stuff going on since Friday with now the setup of the CRM, the workflow going in there, everything just getting separated to the correct channels. If it's funding is going to the funding channel. If it's Airbnb is going to the Airbnb department. If it's credit is going to there. So no one's getting left behind. All the files are getting filtered through. I know we get a lot excited, but guys, just if you can help us, just do us a favor. Um, Try to message through the CRM. If you do have any questions and you need to get a hold of admin right away, send a message to the CRM because it is linked to administration. So you'll be able to get a hold of that really quick. I just want to kind of just make that disclaimer before I go ahead and start sharing my screen. Um, just kind of wanted to show you just a quick workflow. So let me go here really quick because a lot of times people ask, well, hey, look, I got credit, I got funding, so what do I do now? So let me pull this up and start sharing my screen here. Close that out. Share. Okay. So, guys, when people everybody may or may not be ready for funding. And you know what? That's okay because you got to start somewhere. So if you do meet the requirements, you're going to go one channel. If you don't, we're going to send you to another channel and do everything we need to do to get you to where you need to be, right? So I'm not going to go through a full funding. I'm just going to start to now you've been approved, right? Because we did a funding training on Monday. So, hey, congratulations. Now you've been approved. What are you going to do with that approval, right? So let me move myself over here. Once you get your approval, you can log into one of your company's wallets. If you have multiple companies, you can choose which company you want to leverage to go ahead and um, liquidate, some of that business credit because when you're doing real estate, you can't swipe a credit card for real estate. But what you can do, you can liquidate that card, still keep your 0% APRs, whatever that promotion is you have on that card. So let's say you want to use one of your Amex cards, right? You log into the Amex card, you go over to one of them, you see, okay, I have this particular card. Um, this one doesn't have any preset spending limit. Um, what you then can actually do is if you have a merchant, you can now find the place that you're looking for. And this is pretty much what we do. So every single day, we're going to get an update of properties. So now let's say this new listing comes in, we get a new few listings that come in. Our team is going to run the numbers. They're going to do all the projections, make sure that the place is Airbnb friendly. make sure it looks good. And when I say Airbnb friendly, I mean in the sense it has to be approved for Airbnb. Can't be in a restricted territory. So all of our places are approved to be on Airbnb, which means they won't get shut down because we do everything in the correct zoning. We don't do anything crazy. All our places are licensed, right? So well, that's why we say we got to make sure it's Airbnb friendly. We got to make sure it's in the right zone. We got to get permission from the landlord. We got to make sure the numbers make sense. We got to make sure the place looks good. So once we have all that information, right? Let's say on this place here, in Pompano Beach. Let's say we look at this place here. And let's just say this place comes back. Hey, it's approved for us to do for Airbnb. It's doing, let's go here. Let's say it's doing, one second. So let's say now we run that projection, we source it back. Whenever we're looking at numbers, since we are listed on 84 different booking channels that we can list Airbnb, VRBO, HomeAway, Furnishing.com, Booking.com, Expedia, for example. We're able to book on 84 different platforms. So we're able to source back 1 year of what that place actually did. So we look, okay, cool, this place is doing 86,000 in revenue. Um, then we would know if you're going to co-host this place, you're going to make about 30% of what that revenue is. So in this case, Chris, can you do some math on me or someone can help me out? What's 30% of 86,107?
1 second. $25,832.
Okay, so we know that this place as a co-host passively is going to do that number that Chris said for the year, right? So what winds up happening is you're leveraging your credit, and to be honest, guys, you can leverage business credit for anything, for real estate. If you're trying to buy a food truck, if you're trying to open up a business, whether it's a nail salon, hair salon, barbershop, you can leverage it for anything. Uh, but you always want to make sure you diversify your portfolio itself, right? Because some things make money faster than other things. Sometimes you have to spend years, investing and building into something before you see a return of profit. Whereas I know if I put a down payment on this place, I'm basically getting within profit almost immediately, you know, because Airbnb goes off of average daily revenues, it goes off of seasonality, um, and we track all that stuff, right? So at that point, I was like, okay, cool. How much is down payment on this place? They'll tell me what the down payment on this place is. I can invoice since I'm a financial institution, or if you yourself have a merchant, I can invoice my own self. Complete Financial Solutions Group, Derek Cooks. Here's your invoice from CFS Group. That's one of my companies for $6,275. I open that up. I view the invoice. I come here. I know I'm gonna use this card, so I open that up. You invoice. I use my credit card information. I'm not going to put that in, right? But I fill that out. Basically, when that money clears, I can now use that money for a down payment to just go ahead and get this place. So Now I'm just like, man, but I still have like 200,000 left in credit. So I can either get me a couple more properties, or like I said, I can diversify. Um, Maybe get a couple other things on my business. Hey, it's the end of the year. Maybe I need to put a down payment with some of my business cards. To get a new car under my business, so I can get that 60% depreciation on the vehicle on my taxes. So this is a good tool to have. Is not just credit. With anything real estate, you're just always going to just make pretty much really good money on it, right? So you have two different workflows and just two different ways you can go. I always recommend, if you've never done Airbnb before, you should definitely become a co-host. If you're making under $12,000 a month, you should become a co-host, right? So although you make more money as a full host, you're going to have more responsibilities. You're going to get the updates about everything, because even if you go here for me, right? Anything real estate, I'm getting 1,000 emails. Utilities connected. Why? Full host. Water connected. Lease signed, right? Maintenance. So yes, you make a lot more money as a full host itself. Um, but you're gonna have a lot more responsibilities, because you just get updated on everything itself, right? So, basically, one thing that, oh, this is new too. Oh my gosh, this is so spacious single home available furnished or unfurnished for a 12-month lease. Move in as soon as October 28th. Three bedrooms with a fourth bonus, kitchen updated. So this has a pool. Let's see how close it is to the beach. It's actually far from the beach for being in Fort Lauderdale. So this is kind of far east. So basically, let me just show you. My team would probably come. Let me just check something here. 3633 Southwest 23rd Street. Three six three three 23rd Street, Fort Lauderdale. That can get one room. Pool, no. 3633. Gotcha. You can upgrade one of the rooms, convert it. So look at this place here. This is why that place is still available. Revenue on that place is only 54,000. Average daily revenue is 39. So this would be an example of a place we don't take, because now we start looking at the area. It's too far east. So this place wouldn't actually make any sense to do. So we always go through the area. Now, when you start getting to places like this would be more of an area I will pay attention to. It's about 0.35 miles away, which means it's a little bit more closer to the beaches, because now the profits start to go up, right? So you want to stay with places that are around like your 86, 96, 117, 83,000. Those are just all solid property numbers where you want to be to make money on Airbnb itself, right? This is one of our places actually. Now, you have different access to different things. When you're a full host, you do see things differently. Like with full host, um, you can literally just log in and just see all your places in one spot, when they're getting booked out. when the calendar is going on. So if I just click on this here, I can see that this is one of this is a new place here. So if I click here, and you full host, you get the different stuff. Log into one of our calendars. You can just start clicking and just seeing basically their calendars of when the places are going to start getting booked out, and it starts showing you like all the bookings into the future as well. So we see here, this one just went up. This has been live for about 3 days. Just got their first booking. Um, December 23rd, 28th. It's a 5 day booking at 5 nights, 6 people staying. Details. So if I want to go here, just go a little bit deeper, I can go to the listing itself and check what's the average daily rate looking like on this. And actually didn't give it to me 1 second. Availability sold out. So it's really funny like that. It'll show book, and as you're trying to book, someone else could be looking at those dates the same time as you. Because you guys just saw a few minutes ago, literally a few seconds ago, that this is available. And within the time I was trying to book it, it got sold out. Why? Peak season for Airbnb is from November through May. Why? You have Thanksgiving, you have Christmas, you have New Year's, you have spring break. And what happens with spring break actually starts in February and ends in May because different colleges get out at different times. And also your snowbirds are still traveling because it's I don't know if you guys got hit with a cold front, but it don't really get cold like that in Miami. It got a little cold down here this week. One night we were like in the 40s, and that doesn't happen here, right? So, if it's cold like that down here, that means it definitely was an Arctic blast. Um, just going across there. Those people come down here. We call them snowbirds, and they'll be here and book your place for 30 days, 2 months. They'll just book it for a time, you know. Let me go here. And since we do use different platforms, let me go back. This probably logged me out here. Second, let me log in. Um, Once again, we can see reservations into the future. So we can see here again, it's one of his clients. They got a 9 night booking. Um, the rate, I actually know the rate on this place. The rate on this place right now is about 800 a night, just because this is a Lux place. So 800 a night, 7,200. A co-host would make 30% of that. So just off a 9 night booking, a co-host would make 2,200 at 30% of this booking, right? So once again, is your goal eventually to be a full host? Yes, but you don't have to start off there, right? Because you're gonna need the time. You're gonna need the time. Because even though we manage and we do everything for you on the full host side, you're just getting updated with everything. With the co-host, it's pretty much seamless since we do book on different platforms. And that's why we're just showing you guys like the different ones and just like everywhere we go. What winds up happening is you wind up getting paid a lot of times with your co-hosted place multiple times throughout the month because it's on so many different platforms, you know? So if we're going here and we take this place, for example, we see, oh, okay, cool. This place is on booking.com. And then we can go back and we look at another place and we can see, okay, this place is on VRBO, right? Go back, see another place, this place, VRBO. So all our places, we list them on as many platforms as we possibly can, right? They'll all be at least listed on minimum 10 platforms. Some of them allow us to book on all 84 platforms, which is just comes in clutch, right? Um, so that's actually one of our client scouts. They're doing it. So I didn't want this to be a long, extensive training. I just kind of wanted to show you guys like just a workflow and just kind of open it more for questions if you guys had, because we did have a lot of new people come in over this past week. So I just did want to talk about that. And before I do open it up for questions, um, for those of you that got a chance to review the comp plan, we got with the accounting team over this past Black Friday weekend, after everything opened back up on Monday for like regular business hours, was able to get with the team and just really started discussing with them on a few things to kind of just open up another level of pay for you guys. Um, so for every single co-hosted property that you guys refer, you guys are going to be making a 5% because we did run a promo where we just paid you out for that co-host because normally you don't get paid on those because guys, that all that money goes to actually obtaining the property, right? And getting everything situated. But now we're able to take some from company profits that we're going to start paying you guys 5% on all the co-hosted units, right? So for any co-hosted unit you guys are doing moving forward, you're going to make 5% off of that unit on a direct level, So just doing the math over a course of even just 30 days, that is just add like a huge jump into the income on top of what you guys are already making. Um, I started seeing a lot of people that applied for funding, a little bit before the CRM, um, getting funded now. You know, Mel, if you're on the call, shout out to Mel. Ran a client, through the system a little bit before the CRM went through. Client approved for over 100K right now, so just big time. Mel, Marie, if you're on the call, just big time. Congrats to you guys. Sherelle, also big time. Congrats to you and your team as well. Got one of your leaders sitting at 100,000 approval right now and just straight cash funding. Joe Apex, Josh, congratulations, approved your client for a good 500,000 over 15 months. You know, my oh my, what is he going to do with that amount of funds? That is a lot of money, right? Um, had a guy, one gentleman, get approved for a 1.2 million line of credit on here. So guys, this isn't just we're gonna come here and just put people in the system and we're gonna make a quick buck or two. No, you guys are making like thousands of dollars at a time, which is why we want to protect the brand, protect each other, right? We don't want any bad business. We don't want just anybody in this environment. Don't just send someone you're like, hey, send this link, you're gonna make a lot of money. Explain to people what they're actually getting a part of because truth be told, people don't read how you think they do. They'll just click on stuff, right? And then here's what happens. They'll hit up account managers. They're like, I just clicked on something. I don't know what I'm a part of. I'm just here. And the account manager's like, well, who referred you? Right. So just just let them know what they're getting a part of. And we do have training videos that explains the opportunity and things within the system. Right. So you guys just get really familiar with the CRM because you're going to be able to, well, not be able to, you can do it now, right? Send the videos out from the CRM to the client. If you're already registered within the CRM, you have your own number where you can message, you can text, you have your own email in there. So get fairly familiar with that, guys, and you want to get your clients in the habit of that too, because everything stays tracked in there. So now if someone is an Airbnb co-host, you're going to see your commissions in there, which is huge, because now you'll be able to see it versus just waiting to get that report once a month as a co-host. You'll be able to see your future commissions in there. So you guys aren't excited enough for me. I'm about to leave this call. You got to light this call on fire for me. You guys aren't excited enough. I know Wendy's always excited because Wendy calls me like 18 times a day. Wendy, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to do you like that. It's not 18, it's 17, right? But Wendy, I'm proud of you. Super excited for Wendy. Picked up her first place yesterday. Um, we actually went in person to connect the water because we're in the area. I was like, let me just go connect this water for Wendy. Haven't been in this area in a while, let's and we actually stopped to get some really good wings after connecting this water for you, Wendy. So let us know when you're in the Hollywood Beach area so you can check this place out. Right. So definitely gonna take some time to open it up for some questions right now. Super grateful for everyone that made it. We are at 77 people strong right now. No one has left the call. I know Chris locked the meeting. Thank you, Chris. So guys, let's go ahead and open up for some questions. We'll take about 10 minutes of questions so we can wrap up here around 9:40, 9:43.
Right.
And these
Those
closed captions are really on point.
They are. Those of you who have raised your hand one at a time, you guys can now unmute yourself. So Paul, go ahead and ask your question.
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
That's good. That's good to hear. All right, yeah, I was actually I lost track of time with the actual Zoom. I was wanting to see if it's possible if I can get the recording for tonight's call. You guys gonna post it? Because I had a couple of leaders that really wanted to get the information about the funding and the Airbnb project.
Yes. So the recording will be put up on the same YouTube channel we always put everything up on. It'll be up in the morning.
In the morning? Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tori.
Paul, I see you have your hand raised. You can go ahead and unmute yourself.
Did you say Carl?
Paul,
Sorry about that.
Paul,
I'm here.
we'll get you next.
So I just got my first place in Hollywood, Florida, not California, and it looks fantastic. I'm super excited about being involved in this, and I got my first place. I have a question though. I just realized on Zillow that the place is listed for sale. So how does that work if the property sells for me as a co-host?
So the property is not going to sell. It's just what happens is we have a lease because a lot of times a lot of landlords they're trying to sell the place, but if it's taking too long for them to sell the place itself, then they'll allow us to lease the place, and then they just have to update it on Zillow that it's not for sale anymore.
Okay, awesome.
Carl, go ahead and ask your question.
Okay. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. I've just got a question in regards to the smart credit process. When it shows the potential update on your credit file, is that for all three bureaus or is that just for one?
So we're doing these questions more towards Airbnb and tonight, but I'll just answer that one since you just asked it really quick. But it shows for all three.
Okay. And then with the Airbnb, the amount of money that the 30% that comes to us, is that total that we don't have no other expenses other than the credit card expenses or whatever finance we use?
No, you're responsible for utilities, but utilities come out before you sent out that net pay, so you never even really see it.
Right. That's what I want to make sure. Okay. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you, Carl.
Wendy, I see you have your hand raised. Go ahead and ask your question.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Chris and James and Derek. This is the first time I've been on the Airbnb Zoom. It was really great and super excited about the opportunity on all different levels to grow my income as I grow as an investor. So, or as a partner, I was wondering with the seasonal Airbnbs, how do you suggest we manage the purchasing? Do we spread it out? Do we try and like load up pretty hard for the end of year, beginning of year, so that we can take advantage of that season up through May? Are there bills that, because it's in Florida, I don't know, air conditioning might be, $1,000 or $2,000 a month when people are using it during the summer? Like, what would you suggest as someone brand new to these ideas? How do you foresee the best strategy going out of the gates right here, right now? And how do we play that through the year?
Wendy, that's a great question. So great thing for us is with all our clients, since when they do get on retainer with us, they all have their account managers that's working with them for 12 months. And they're pretty much pacing you so you don't do anything crazy, right? Because some people will be like, I want to get 100 Airbnbs. And it's just like, you might not need 100 Airbnbs. You might just need one turnkey building that has 16 units. So you're really breaking down what are your needs? How much available credit do you have right now? Where are you in the tier process? Oh, are you tier 2 currently right now? Okay, don't spend this much money on your credit because we're going to need you to be at a certain balance for us to move to tier 3, maybe get this amount of properties, right? So the account managers are there to just keep you in check because sometimes you're going to want to do like this and you may not have to do that, because I've heard people like, I'm gonna get 1,000 properties. It's just like, just get the building, lease out the whole building. 20 properties might make you $250,000 or 300,000 a year. A quadruplex will do the same thing, right? So account managers, they're always going to work with you, scale you, just keep you in there, because one thing you're going to make sure is, as you're making your profits, right? One thing, what I know for sure they're telling our clients is keep 50% profit, pay 50% towards whatever cards that you use for that. Because what's going to wind up happening is you're making money and you're paying off whatever card that you put it on. So you're already in profit relatively quite quick, because someone asks, hey, well, how long does it start to take money, making money on your place? It's like a thumbprint. It's different for each one, but everyone gets a projection that comes with that property. And some people might be on here like, well, hey, look, I got started over the Black Friday weekend. You guys will receive all that information within the next 24 to 72 hours. It's a lot of stuff still coming through the CRM, right? So you'll definitely have that. We already have everybody is literally in queue. So you're never ever going to be able to move faster than what you're trying to do, because some people just like, you may have been making $100,000 a year, and all of a sudden we give you 300,000 in credit. You're like, I want to make $1 million next year. Okay, that's a huge leap in income. There's some steps, literally, like mentally, like emotionally, like there's things you have to go through before you get to a certain level of income. Just because we give you all this credit and we're scaling you the right way doesn't mean go crazy. And that's why our account managers are there to just keep you guided and in check. Wendy, you work with a couple of them, and I'm glad, that they've been answering your question, getting what needs to be done, getting your business open. So everything is clean, because I'll rather you guys have debt paid off, all the business credit in the world, all the passive income, versus just, we're going to give you $100,000, Derek, to do this. At the end of the day, I'm a financial advisor. Our company has to advise you not to do things sometimes, right? So great question, Wendy. And That's a great question. Wendy always has the best
That was
question.
an amazing answer. And I have to say kudos to the liaison, your right-hand gal. She's got it all together, as well as the loan special or the financial advisors that'll be coaching me for a year. I love it. Thank you so much for answering with such great detail. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Wendy.
All right. Mel, I see your hand is raised. You can go ahead and answer your question, ask your question.
What's going on, Chris? Hey, I appreciate you. I see you back there working 24/7. Throw some fire in there for Chris. But Derek, you know the question, I'm coming at you. That 5%, sir, is that going to be over the life of the contract for the Airbnb or just off the actual is that added to the actual deposit?
No, that's actual deposit because what happens with co-hosts, they're only making 30%, right, of the net profit. So even though it's a lot for them, is when you really do the math on that, that really doesn't add up for anything like that. Now, when it's a client that's a full host, yes, there is a monthly override on that because they're full host, right? Meaning that whole property is theirs. But the only time a client, and I'll say this again, should everybody at some point become a full host here? Yeah. 75% of the properties that my wife and I have are they're full hosts, right? But we absolutely started as co-hosts. And it wasn't even because of an income thing at that time. It was mostly because I just didn't want my phone blowing up with like, hey, you gotta look at the pool, you gotta look at this. Now we just have so many management companies that we own that it just gets taken care of, right? I just know the money's gonna be there. I just wake up and I just know every day there's money in my account. Because when you have 205 properties, you really are getting paid every single day. When you do funding, you're getting paid every single day. I want everybody on here to legit learn and understand how funding works. Because if you genuinely, no, seriously, I can't. If you just genuinely learn how funding works, literally watch my training videos. I'm very detailed. If you learn, and I'm going to start doing at least probably like once a month, just like these really like mastermind, like in depth, like this is what you do with funding, like to the T. This is how you actually make $1 million within this time. This is how, because that's how I like to do. But guess what? I don't train on stuff like that on the calls because a lot of times you might just have a lot of excited people on here. Like, I'm excited to be here and I'm glad. But some will, some won't. So we have to decipher who's who. Do I want everybody to win? Yes. But you know who I know is going to make the most money out here? The people that I'm watching in the CRM, watching the training videos, literally learning what the retainer is. Because think about it. Sherelle, you probably know every single way that you get paid on this comp plan. I know you do because you repeated it back to me. That means she's going to max out the comp plan and then some because she knows she can get paid 15 different ways. When people are like, oh, we thought that we only got paid off of funding. No. There's so many different funding programs and Airbnb programs. Like we offer lines of credit, business cash advance, SBA, inventory lines of credit, Airbnb, right? There's just so many equipment loans, AR receivables. So there's just so many different products that if you just took, and it doesn't take a long time, if you just literally took 15 to 20 minutes and just look, because trust me, the way this comp plan was created, like I wasn't just sitting at my house just one day, like this is a financial comp plan. It got created with banks, with attorneys, like, and it's legit 15% higher than the minimum industry, right? So just excited to be here. I see Lamont's had a question. I'm gonna take about 5 more questions after Lamont's, and then we'll go ahead and wrap it up here.
How you doing, Derek?
Hey, what's up, Lamont?
Hey, question. I've been having a lot of people asking about the if you don't have you go over and over, and I told them, but they want to hear it again. If you have a business and it's
Mhm.
for 2 years and you're making it $10,000, but they can't qualify for the cards, can they still get a loan? I told them yes, it's a line of credit. Can you explain that, please?
Yes. So, oh my gosh, this is a perfect example. We had this one individual, right, was kind of like upset that that we let them know that, hey, your credit might need a little bit work. It's not bad, but it's under the 670, right? Oh, I have good credit. 670 is not bad credit, you know. But he's like, oh, just like upset, almost like a blow to the ego, and said, hey, look, don't worry about it. That's not a problem at all. Turns out the gentleman makes about $325,000 a month. So he wound up getting approved for an $850,000 term loan over 5 years. So at this point, the account exec is, sir, do you want this 850 or do you want the 200K and zero APR cards? Do you want to retain us? We teach you how to pay down this debt that you have over here, fix some stuff over here like this. And in the process of us building all your business scores, when we come back to refinance this 850 that we gave you, we're going to give you lines of credit and zero APR credit because we gave you something to start with. You retain us, we fixed all your stuff, and now we're getting you what you really want because we fixed you. This isn't monopoly, this is chess. We do everything strategically for the best good of the client. And by us default doing what's best for the client, that worked out for us. Thanks, take care of us rewardingly. Is rewardingly a word? I'm playing with y'all.
So next we have Nate has his hand raised. Nate, go ahead and unmute and ask your question.
Nate Boyd.
Hey, what's up? Is there a way? Can you hear me now? Hopefully you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, excellent. Is there a way we can actually get together as I know you had an event a little bit ago. Very exciting. Loving the what you're doing here. Is there a way to get together and make uh, some type of one-on-one with the group or whatever situation because the compensation plan is beautiful. Love what's happening. I love the 20%, 30%. I love everything that you're doing here. But I wanted to see if there's a way to get more personal and be able to make everything explode. And I know that it takes time to grow. I understand that. I get it. I understand exactly where you're coming from, loving your process and your team that's going to throttle, for lack of a better term, the people that are coming into this instead of having this, pie in the sky idea, because it takes a little bit of effort to get to a point where you can manage funds and be able to manage those things and accounts and those types of things. What are your thoughts on that? Can we get to you guys and get to your events?
Oh yeah.
It's an
So
exciting thing. I mean,
oh
I just want to tell you.
absolutely, absolutely. Like with like you, Nate. I saw in the system that actually everything is clearing for you tomorrow. So you're actually going to get appointed your account manager tomorrow. So they'll be reaching out to welcome you, all that good stuff, and whatnot. And that's where that personal touch comes into to place because what happens a lot, and it always happens, is a lot of times people want to get like a personal touch with me, and I love talking to people. I love it. I love it. But a lot of times people forget that in order to maintain multiple companies, I actually can't be so available because I am speaking to the banks. I'm speaking to lenders, to underwriters, to the brokers. Like, I'm the CEO, and typically you will never see the CEO. I just got down in the trenches because they asked me to, like, hey, we have this whole new wave of people, but is by me being down in here, that actually takes away a lot of time from what I actually really need to do, which is why we've always kind of had those account managers set up to just have that personal touch with you guys. I'll pop in from time to time, but that's why we have those account managers have that personal touch, so that way they can make sure you guys are really taken care of.
One of the things I wanted to ask as well, because I really wanted, I moved to my sponsor. I don't, I really want to follow the protocol because of that reason. But I certainly want to see if there's a way, because I expect some pretty big things to happen. And, that's separate. I'm not getting into that right now. But I really like what you're doing as far as being able to have individuals be on a steadfast platform, if that makes sense, to be able to get to the goal that the managers are your people are able to get us to. So I'm going to get off that, but right now appreciate what you're doing, and can't wait to get started. And one last question: people in other countries, I know they can get started, basically just purchasing things outright. If they do need to get their IT, not EIN number, but the
I
IEIN
10.
number.
Mhm.
Is there a process that's different that for those guys or gals?
Not particularly. Same program. It's just we'll just have to file the ITIN for them. So that way, when we get that ITN, we'll build some credit under the ITN and at the business at the same time, and just work specifically with those banks. A lot of our clients are international Canadians. I know Canadians use two bureaus, so we work with those. We have a lot of clients in the islands as well that we work with. So not a different process, just a different set of banks.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Can't wait.
All right, guys, I'm gonna take one more question, and we're
Well, I
gonna
have a
go ahead and
question.
wrap up.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
I love your beard.
Oh man, you see that Botana oil?
No. Hey, Derek. Hey, everybody. I just want to say, it's just been an honor, man. Just again, rocking with you over the last month is some change and just learning, man. Just learning so much. And I want to. I'm not here to impress anybody. I'm really here to impress upon you. Take the knowledge, right? In the chat, type of one in the chat if this makes sense. He is educating us. I want you to type a one in the chat if that makes sense. Don't just look at it from a standpoint of let me earn some money or whatever the case may be, but get educated, guys. I'm proud of myself. Actually, I applied for something today. I know Derek's going to kill me, him and Miss Cooks, but and got approved for a $19,000 credit card. And I have to tell you, it's because of you. And one thing that I really want to say again, everybody, we're just starting. I'm silent right now. I'm not even in launch mode yet. But what we have is special, and let's protect it, guys. If you agree with me, type a three in the chat. We don't have to oversell it. We don't have to hype it up, right? We just have to just really learn what we're doing, have a little bit of patience. And the key to investing, and luckily, I got involved in crypto in very, very, very early time and been able to win and lose. But now I'm winning. So we know, everything is not going to always be 100% perfect, but at the same time, him and his amazing wife, they're definitely setting us up for some amazing long-term, I believe, passive gain. So I just wanted to say thank you so much, and I will definitely be rocking and rolling next week. But we're here in the dungeon, just making sure everything gets done. So thank you so much.
All right, so we're going to take one more question. Ashley, I see you're the last person to have your hand raised. If you want, go ahead and unmute and ask your question.
Yeah. Hi. This is my second time on the call or the video. So I'm trying to educate myself. I don't want to be that the one that you was just talking about, like just don't get on here and da 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 da. I had filled out the application already, and I have did the smart credit. And I was just asking my cousin a whole bunch of questions. I know he probably irritated me, but I was asking a whole bunch of questions. But I haven't received any email or a phone call yet. Do you know when I'm going to do it? I did it on Tuesday.
I have, if you just did it on Tuesday, they're probably filtering through the system because things are still getting assigned to people. So we're giving everything like 24 to like 48 to get filtered into the system for them to get up. Also, did did you retain us or you just filled out and put your information in there?
I believe I put whatever Lamont sent me, I filled out.
Okay, because I know for
So
sure
she,
what happened. Go ahead, Chris.
you are, yeah, you are in the system. It looks you are in line to be contacted. So they're going to contact you, like Derek said. They're just going through and in order and trying to get to everybody. We had an influx of people over the weekend, so they're catching up, but they will get to you.
And is there anything else that I need to know before? Because I don't want to sound uneducated when they do call. I want to make sure that I sound somewhat professional. Is
Oh,
there
no.
anything that I need to ask them? What do I need to do? Do I have to make a payment? Like, let me know ahead of time so I know what I need to do so y'all don't have to wait on me.
No. So once you pretty much with Smart Credit, once you sign up for Smart Credit and uploaded your credentials, when they wind up reaching out to you, they pretty much already analyzed the report so they can go through that with you. Because here's what happens. A lot of people, most people actually really don't understand credit, right? Uh, a lot of times some people will think that, hey, look, I have a 750, I have good credit, but have 20 inquiries and get declined. Well, you can't get approved with 20 inquiries. There's too many inquiries. You got to fix that, right? Um, so you can't ask or be prepared for certain things that you may not even know what's on the report yourself, right? So that's why they're there to kind of like coach you through it and just kind of guide you. Well, hey, look, based on what we currently see, this is where we should go. Whether it's credit repair or, hey, look, based on what we currently see on the report, we recommend you go into funding, right? Based on what we see, we recommend you retain the company so we can fix X, Y, Z. So once you basically go ahead and get that appointment set up and they go ahead and reach out to you and that gets appointed, because and I want you guys to understand too, from the moment you put yourself into the CRM, it takes about 24 to 48 hours for you to get processed into the CRM. That stuff has to get uploaded. So once that gets uploaded to the system, it actually pops up. That's when someone's able to pick up the file itself, get assigned, and just contact you from there, right? That's why we say just give it a couple of days because it's a process. It has to get processed into the actual system itself, right? But when it comes to credit consultation call, just be honest, be transparent because we see everything on the report, right? And one thing I want to tell you guys is we fix credit the right way. You know, you get your full analysis. It tells you more or less how long it's going to take for us to fix this stuff. It tells you pretty much what your funding projection time is, right? I'd rather fix the stuff instead of just trying to give you like bad approvals, you know, because then nobody wins at that point. You know, let's do it the right way.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
All right, guys. So that was the last question we're doing of the night. The recording of this is going to be up tomorrow. I want to thank everybody so much for taking the time out to be on this call this evening. Chris, thank you so much for going ahead and dropping that link there. Thank you guys so much for just staying on this whole time. Just really good information that we got. James, one hell of a month. Chris, one hell of a month. A lot of people, a few of you guys got started with us before the CRM went up. And just, if you guys made that type of money that they made without the CRM, then my oh my, we're in for a wonderful time, because we have some people on the call right now that's made $40,000-$50,000 in the last 30 days without the CRM. Imagine what they're going to do now. So I'm going to leave you with that thought. Guys, remember, you have to apply the knowledge in order for the knowledge to be powerful. So let's be blessed. Everyone be safe. And we'll talk soon. Thank you guys so much. And have a great evening.
Thank you, everybody, for joining.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Derek.
Thanks, Derek.
Thank you.
And conditions. Like
Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Derek.
Term hiccups too.
Thank you guys. Have a good night.
Thank you, James. Thank you, Derek.
Thanks, everybody. You guys did a smash up job tonight. Really appreciate your time and effort.